Guys, might be a nice time to read the final sentence of the book right now.
Where he says there's his destiny or whatever?
Yeah, well, how does that play into your conversation?
Should I just read the... Go for it. Okay. That's the very last sentence of the book. As the car left the yard and went up to the potholed street, I turned my head for the last look at my family, standing in a row in front of the shack, waving sadly in the pale morning mist. I wanted to tell the man to turn back, but I didn't. I followed my destiny. So what does that say to you, Isabel?
I think that he knows that he is meant for greater things, and that, like, even though he really loved his family, he knew that he had to leave them if he wanted to achieve his dream.
Do you think that him leaving was, like, the most effective tool for him to be able to serve, like, the people back home in his community?
I mean, again, I think you kind of have to, like, serve yourself before you can start to, like, serve the community, if that makes sense. Like, you have to get yourself somewhere, and you have to, like, be able to assert yourself in some sort of society to make yourself big enough and known well enough to, like, really make a big difference.
Yeah, and even if you, like, from that standpoint, even if you don't send back money or don't do anything, these people that you left behind have a role model, and they have someone that they can say, oh, he can get out. If we really work hard enough, so can we. And instead of just, like, realizing that everyone is stuck and confined, and no matter how hard you work, everything's going to turn out horribly.
Do you think that anyone can get out of any situation through hard work?
Not necessarily, but, you know, if you don't try, I mean, what's the point? You have to try in order to be able to have any sort of, like, chance of doing anything, but at the same time, I kind of think that, like, it doesn't always work out, even if you try your hardest.
Do you think people, like, have a destiny? Like, they have to follow?
No, because, and I, like, from a personal standpoint, I'd say that right now, I thought I had this whole, like, destiny of, like, growing up and being some, like, giant, like, scientist or something, and, like, through this whole year, I've realized that I don't like science anymore, so, like, my like, views and my personality's been changing a lot, throughout the course of high school, so, like, personally, I don't really see, like, I don't really, like, think there's a destiny just because of how much, like, I've been able to change, like, so much. I don't know.
I'm not sure I have a destiny so much as, like, a role to play. Like, I don't know what my destiny is going to be or if I even have one, but I know that whatever I do, there's always, like, I have some effect on what goes on, like, on the earth.
I think the reason actually why I feel like people don't have a destiny is because I have this sort of mindset where you really just, you never know what the future holds, even to the last day that you live. You really just never know what the next day is going to hold. And it could be from, like, the biggest thing, from, like, meeting someone that you just, like, fall in love with or something, or, like, something horrible happening to your family, to, like, a small thing, like getting an A on a test. I don't know. That's why I feel like, because you never know what the future holds for you or anybody else, I feel like that's why I don't really have that whole philosophy of having a destiny for myself.
Like, I personally think that, like, because I'm kind of undecided on that whole thing, but I think that a lot of the time, like, what you have planned can often, like, often differs a lot from, like, what actually ends up happening to you, and a lot of the time, like, what ends up happening can be much better than, like, what you had your mind set on in the first place, and I think that comes a lot into play in, like, Johannes' story. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
I don't think he ever thought about like, even probably going to America when he was a lot younger.
Yeah.
Even if he knew really what America was, I don't think he had any idea of ever being able to go there.
Exactly.
Because he was just stuck in this whole, like, hellhole of, like, having to deal with the police all the time and, like, all kinds of, like, trouble and all kinds of stuff. And he probably never even, like, thought of himself playing tennis, especially with white people.
Yeah.
We go about one more minute. Any final thoughts here? This is a nice discussion.
Sorry, Henry, you were going to say something.